Hello again, YouTube! This is DrKendo, and I'm here with my lovely, beautiful, amazing, and you could go down the list of a million other adjectives, wife,
mrs.Kendo.
Thank you for joining me today. We, as you know, got a bunch of questions from my subscribers. You guys did great, because I didn't even really announce it verbally. Remember, we were like, we should say that at the end of a video, and then I never got around to it. And so, like, you guys did a good job just kind of picking up on the little comments and descriptions that I left and stuff. So we got enough questions for a night of question and answering. So thank you. I appreciate that. So we'll go ahead and start this off. I'm going to let Mrs. K read all the questions out.
Wow.
For tonight.
Pancake Doze Gaming and Gamer69 ask, how did you two first meet?
I just want to preface saying that we are not good at answering questions briefly.
I think we can do it. And this is kind of a two-part story. I think I've explained this before, that it depends how you define meeting, because I kind of met him twice.
Yeah.
The first time I became aware of DrKendo's existence, if that constitutes meeting, was that he was an orientation leader for college. And he was not my orientation leader, but he was the first orientation leader I encountered, because he was handing out the bags and stuff at the very beginning when you first walked in. And when I saw him, he had his spiky hair, and he was sitting next to a guy with really long hippie Jesus hair. And their hairs combined looked very strange. But I thought he seemed really cool and awesome, and I wanted to be friends with him. I just really wished I wanted to meet him and be his best friend, but I didn't talk to him. And then...
So then the second part is that when school finally did start, you know, after orientation and everything like that, we were
tour guides
at our university, and that was actually something that was in the wedding video. For anybody who saw the wedding video, you know, that has been revealed actually before, probably several times on this channel, but we were tour guides.
Yes, and so not only that, but also this is kind of, I'm going to sum this up very briefly. I became friends with a girl who lived 3 doors down from me in the dorm and sang with me in a choir. She was in his orientation group and started dating him, and I was in love with their relationship, and I thought it was great. And so I became friends with them when he was with her, but then we would hang out at tour guides too. And then when they broke up, I was very sad. Eventually she convinced me that I should try to go out with him. I said no. I continued to protest until he started dating another girl. I got wildly jealous, and la 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 la. Now we're married.
Very good. Summarization. Summarization.
Okay, summary.
Very good summary.
Okay,
Go.
Next question. Helena Sweet asks, what is your favorite Nintendo character or Mario character?
Congratulations to Helena Sweet one more time. She was one of the contest winners, by the way, of the DrKendo contest. She knew that.
My favorite Nintendo character, well, if it's just a Mario character, if we're talking about Mario Kart, I really like to race with Baby Peach. Baby Peach is my favorite. And then if we're talking about other Mario games, like the newest one,
like the Mario
Super Mario 3D World, or however you say it.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly right.
Great. I really like Princess Peach in the fire flower dress. Don't make fun of me.
With her hair changes.
Yeah, her hair changes, but the dress is also pretty.
Well, it's interesting because in life, I've always liked brunettes more, but I think my favorite Mario series character is Princess Peach. So I'm going to have to go with that for Mario. I think Nintendo character is so broad that I should maybe also include one of those. And there's just so many that I can't figure out.
Oh yeah, do Pokemon
This should be so easy.
This?
Yeah, Pokemon are Nintendo characters.
Oh no, because I like Pokemon more than Princess Peach.
The thing is, my favorite video game character is obviously Sonic, but I'm trying to think, what was my favorite Nintendo character, because I like so many of them, and I'm getting kind of stuck because I love Charmander, but I also like KK Slider from the Animal Crossing. He's the dog that has the guitar and sings. Lord, what else? I don't know.
Well,
this is too hard!
The Pokemon that I like are Badoo. Badoo is my favorite Pokemon, who used to be, but is now. Butterfree, Pikachu, Togepi, Jigglypuff.
Great.
Lots. Munchlax927 asks, What are your favorite ice cream flavors, and where do you see yourselves in 5 years?
That's a good one. I think your answer is going to be better, so I'll answer first. Is that good?
Mint chocolate chip.
Oh, I was going to say I am.
And birthday cake are my favorite ice cream flavors.
You totally missed that. I was like, I'll answer first, and then you were like, mint chocolate chip.
Oh, I thought you said that I should answer first.
No, I was trying to save the best for last. Or
oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Best for first. Best for first.
Okay.
I like things that are chocolate, so like chocolate fudge. I like chocolate within chocolate. So that might be chocolate with cookies on top or something.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate.
And where do we see ourselves in 5 years?
I'm trying to think because I know how Mrs. K is going to answer some of these for like where do we see ourselves? And then at an individual level, it's like, I still see myself working where I work right now, actually, because I work for a really great company. I work for a nice company. So I actually see myself staying there, even though I am sort of young. I'm young-ish in life. I also see myself being 33 years old.
Yeah, the next 5 years, you're going to be in your 30s.
That's not fun. Something more positive. Something more positive, I guess, is just that I actually see the YouTube channel being huge, but I do see it happening less then, and this may feed into your answer. I may not be doing it as much then, so we've got to pack in as much as we can right now, right?
And I will have graduated with my master's degree at the end of this year, so hopefully I'll have some awesome world-shaking planning job where I'm doing something. I don't know exactly where I want to work in planning, but hopefully I'll be doing something that's in line with like helping and protecting communities and vulnerable populations and arts. All those things together. And
great.
I also, the next question is from Awesome, this is partnered with this question, we're not done.
Kind of
Awesome Fayed. Are you planning on having a kid? So yes, in the next 5 years I would like to have a kid. At least one.
A girl.
I mean, we hope, but
that's what I hope.
you know, he hopes mostly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do want to have a kid, so hopefully I have a awesome job that will let me have a kid. And
I'm guessing at least one comment in this video, if we didn't answer it, would be, what do you want to name your kid? There's a lot of
we want to name our first daughter Scarlett. And
with 2 T's.
Actually, in Tomodachi Life, we're married and we have 2 daughters named Scarlett and Stella. Stella's our like second girl name, and then like for a boy, Sawyer is what we want to name a boy.
Yeah.
We don't want to have too many kids, though.
That's why we included that second question. You know, it kind of fed into the other one. So that probably will be happening within the next 5 years, and that might be why I slow down on YouTube a little bit. Things might just change, at least if I don't slow down. But yeah, it'll change.
It'll be the Scarlet channel.
So, yeah, we'll have dual commentaries with me and Mrs. K and me and the child.
Diggin' Diamonds asks, what was the first game that you and Mrs. Kendo ever played?
Now, I wonder if that means individually or together.
Oh, I assumed it meant together.
Together? Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe it means individually. I don't know.
And I think I know, but I could be wrong. But I have 2 potential. So if I'm wrong, I have two potential answers.
I know what board game we played first.
Okay, you say the board game and then I'll say the video game, because they probably are talking about video games, but...
I know, but I'm just saying, we played Pokemon Yahtzee. Yeah, at the tour guide party.
That was before we were dating.
Yep.
And we were both into Pokemon, and I think I knew that about you at that time, but it was fantastic. It was magical. Pokemon Yahtzee.
Now, video games.
Video game that we played together would have been probably either one of the hero games, so guitar or band hero, possibly a rock band, one of those musical games, or it was Mario Kart Wii, because I know that we played that together a lot, and we played it like with one of your friends, and so...
You know what you actually didn't realize? I think the first game we ever played was The Sims.
That's right.
The Sims 3.
The first game
we used to play, so when we first started dating, I went away for a month and a half to Victoria because I was living, like I was in college and I wasn't like established. I didn't have a place to live in Austin for the summer, so I was going back home. But I was doing a show, so I actually did come back and slept on some friend's floor for a month while I did summer stock.
Yeah.
But when I came back to sleep on an air mattress on someone's floor, I would go over to his apartment every night after rehearsal, which got out at 10 p.m. And most of the time, I wouldn't get back to my apartment until 2 or 3 in the morning because we were playing The Sims. Like, that's all we did. I would get back from rehearsal and then we played The Sims. Yeah.
It was fun.
Okay, and Mr. Elefante222 asks, what game has made you rage the most?
Oh, God, I can think of so many times, like, which is bad because I'm not too much of a rager. I'm more of a joking rager. Like, I do that crazy voice and, like, I'm not really angry, but I'm angry. But in my own solitude of playing by myself, I think I've got at least, like, 2 things. One of them was just this Sonic Adventure 2. This is going to be hilarious. The Chow races. You know, where they race? You know what I was so pissed off about was that I had trained a Chow. His name was Seaman, and I had trained this Chow up so much. Like, I gave it all the little capsules and animals that I thought were perfect, and it ran faster than any Chow in the world. But the problem was that you didn't really have much control over that. You know?
Absolutely
it's like,
not.
You could push the little thing to turbo them to make them run faster, but ultimately it's like that other Chow would just be faster than mine, and like I was like. Like, I would just, like, freak out. Like, I was like, why is he not running faster? And so, I know that I raged a lot, and this was in my own solitude so you never saw this, or nobody ever saw it. It wasn't on YouTube or anything. It was just when I was racing the Chows. And I guess because I just had no control over it, and it was pissing me off. They would always win.
I don't know about raging at video games. I mean, I know I've probably done it. I mean, do I? I guess. Sort of. I rage in Mario Kart. It's more like I'm angry because my kind of thing that I do in Mario Kart is I'll be like, oh, I finished this race in 9th place, but I was in 2nd for part of it.
That's raging.
Yeah, that's what I do. I rage probably, I'm just trying to think of what I would rage at. Puzzles.
Yeah, actual physical puzzles. The other thing that I raged a lot at was actually Pokemon back when I was younger. Maybe had less control of my emotions and stuff, but I used to rage at Pokemon Red and Blue, and I think it was only because they would, like, suddenly critical hit me all the time in those games, like when I, you know, like, I was banking on kind of, like, my moveset working, and then they would critical hit at, like, the worst time, so I know that I raged at that, so...
Darth Giraffe asks, unfortunately summer is coming to an end and school is coming back around. But that brings up a question for me. What is your favorite memory from your school days?
Oh boy, favorite memory. There was just so many. Basically for me, every memory in college was a good one, especially meeting my wife-to-be. I also liked, during senior year of high school, I knew which college I was getting into. Like, I had 2, I was probably such a slacker and everything. Like, you would think most colleges would me, but I had like 2 off periods, and I had one of my really good friends in all of my classes with me, and I would bring my video camera to school, and we had like a show, like a made-up show or whatever or something, that I would just go and film my life at school and like us doing stuff. Like, we just like had so many blow-off classes, like psychology and printmaking, and it was insane, and it was just a great time to end high school, which was a bad time for me. Overall, high school was a horrible time for me in general, so that senior year kind of made it better, but everything in college was great. I'll defer to you, but I could definitely go on and on.
Well, this question just automatically made me think of like a lot younger school, like elementary school and stuff, which I loved. My elementary school, I went to a magnet school that had like a space theme. So we did a lot of really cool things, and I was in the Young Astronauts, so I got to do even extra space stuff, like go to the Challenger Center in Houston, and all of the young astronauts were like assigned to different roles, and we had to like make the space mission happen, and I was on probe, and I had to like build and operate the probe that was gonna like go out on Mars, and it had to like do the thing, and if it didn't do the thing, our whole mission would be for nothing. but it succeeded.
Maybe
So,
nothing.
yeah. And another great memory from elementary school was I would just did like all kinds of like academic and achieving things like all throughout school. But like in elementary school, I won the spelling bee 2 years in a row in 4th and 5th grade. The awesome time was in 4th grade because I actually got to go compete in the county spelling bee. And even though I didn't win, my picture was on the front cover of the newspaper because I was just really cute. Because I was the shortest one there. I was like probably the youngest one. And the microphone was like way above my head. So they put a picture of me trying to like reach up to the microphone because it was just really funny. In 5th grade, I did not get to go to the spelling bee because I had strep throat, and it was very sad. Also, another thing I did in 5th grade was that I had the record for the most AR points, which is like points you got for reading books and taking tests on them. And so the person who had the most AR points from like 1st grade through 5th grade at the end of 5th grade got to be principal for the day. So I got to be principal for the day. And it was awesome.
You know what else I liked about elementary was track and field, like, because, you know, I was athletic and I also like nerdy things and like anything just fun like that. And so track and field, and our school used to give us a necklace, necklace that you would wear, and you would collect a bead that was colored based on which place you got in each event. So I don't know if you've ever seen it in my parents' house, the room that I used to stay in. There's a little necklace dangling from like the wall on a tack, and it has beads on it.
Oh. So what happened if you lost? Did you get beads?
Yeah, like there was participation beads, basically. You know, like everybody got the white bead, but then like there was like a gold bead for first, and there was like a glow-in-the-dark bead in some events and stuff. That's awesome.
That's awesome. And the last question is, Tamari773 asks, after being in each other's lives for so long, in what ways do you feel you have affected each other?
Shout out to Tamari773, who also won the DrKendo giveaway contest. But yeah, I mean, we have been in our lives for over 5 years, and we've been married for 2 of those years, and our anniversary was just yesterday on September 1st. We're filming this September 2nd, so that's why I said yesterday.
But you're watching this on my birthday!
Yeah. So...
we've talked about this a lot, so it's really great that someone asked a question about this, because I feel like you could point to both like good and bad things. For instance, I tend to be I worry a lot. Like, I have issues with being very anxious, which has affected me throughout my life. But since being with Dr. Kendo, I actually worry about things less sometimes. I get too far gone worried about something, not much can bring me back. But for the most part, I've learned to not worry as much. I think because I generally feel safer, but he worries more. So being with me has made him get more anxious. Yeah,
like since being with you, I think I've picked up some of that worry, because I used to be very worry-free, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I countered that with like maybe it's healthy to worry a little bit more, you know, like because you could be too carefree.
Yeah.
Too worry-free.
Another thing is that he is very like sensitive, and he doesn't. This is gonna sound so negative, and I don't mean it to, because his sensitivity is really, really, really a great thing. It makes him super emotional, like in a good way and stuff. But it also, he doesn't take criticism very well, and I don't mean from me. I mean just in general.
What do you mean by that?
Look at his face.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to ham it up.
So he doesn't take criticism very well.
I'm just trying to ham it up.
And in my life, I've been in some very disciplined like organizations in the ballet company and theater where like you would get things like laid out at you and you just had to take it. Like you would get publicly humiliated and you couldn't react. And so I was very resilient, very not gonna get upset about those things. And then he made me so like mushy-gushy with his love, which is like such a great thing. Like he made me more able to like express my emotions in a great way, but also it made me more susceptible to criticism. I'm not as hard as I used to be. I'm softer now.
For me, I'd like to specify that I think I take criticism actually well under most circumstances. It's when it's when I'm criticized by somebody that I really like and I really respect, or I really love, or, you know, like I really have a good relationship with, because I think I can't tolerate bad feelings in relationships, like, and I don't mean romantic relationships, I mean any relationships with somebody that I identify with or whatever. So if I'm close to somebody, I think that's more where I take the criticism as an attack rather than a criticism. So I hope you think that that's valid too, but I did just want to specify that, because I think I actually take random, you know, if we're in like a photo class, like I took photography classes, like I had no problem with that, you know, like people would say the good and say the bad, and it was all fine. So I think it's with those relationships where I like find somebody, you know, that I like or love, that I take it hard.
Can you think of any other examples?
Well, we've only said bad things.
Those aren't bad. I talked about how my sensitivity was like made me more emotional and in a good way, but it made me more susceptible to wimpiness.
Because then I figured after we talked about these things, we would talk about, you know, I can think of at least like one or two positive things right off the bat. Like, you know, without having to think, my brain just goes there. And with you, it was embracing a positive thinking lifestyle.
Yes.
Because that's something that she's probably the most strong at in her personality and everything. And so then also, I don't know how much I've discussed this with you, but your ambitiousness and like your ability to achieve anything that you set out to achieve actually fed into me, somebody who I was kind of not a crazy achiever, you know, before meeting you and stuff. Like, I didn't really reach for the stars that much, and I'm not going to say not at all, but like I didn't really go for things. And so like an example was like I did voices as just like a hobby. Like I would just like imitate people and like do goofy voices and stuff, and I was always like, it'd be so cool to do like some voice acting projects, but whatever. When I actually got with you, I found like a website where I could audition for projects online. I started like taking that further. Then I got into my own YouTube channel where I could do voices like all the time. And so yeah. So, you know, through you, I think I achieved more things than maybe this YouTube channel honestly could be like attributed to that as well. Just like the fact that I even did a YouTube channel and stuff. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I didn't want those things to sound bad. Like, I feel like me being more sensitive and worrying less are both positive things that came from him.
Okay, good. Sorry.
But also, I mean, there's a lot of things, and unfortunately, I can't think so well right now because I have a really bad headache. We just got back from Galveston, and I feel like I see like. Sometimes this doesn't always happen, but I like sometimes just imagine like what would you say to me like if I'm feeling a certain way or something, like, you know, like, and that makes me happy. But then sometimes I don't want to just know. I want to always be like, do you love me? Tell me something nice.
So
like,
perhaps
you know,
there's a confidence. You can draw a confidence in yourself, but then at the same time you could also have that
want to use him as a crutch.
Yeah, wavering confidence.
Yeah, so all of mine have been double-edged swords, and I'm sorry about that, but that's life.
That's life. So thank you so much for viewing. We're glad that you asked questions and were enthusiastic about it. Sorry that we can't be more enthusiastic. I'm
trying. I just have a headache.
We both just start blurting out things. Oh, yes. Well, this was great, so thank you.
Thank you.
Many more great things to come in the future, so stay tuned.
Thanks for viewing.
Bye-bye. P.S. If your question didn't get answered in this video, I'm actually going to do kind of a lightning round video where I personally answer the remaining questions, because there was a lot of them that were oriented just towards Dr. Kendo and didn't really specify something for Mrs. Kendo to answer, so I'll do a separate video for that. So be looking forward to that, and again, it'll be a lightning round thing where I just answer them really fast. So I hope you're looking forward to it, and thanks again for viewing.